What's up guys, I'm Arjun and this is the ASUS Vivobook Pro 14X OLED, a laptop aimed at creators who are into photo editing, video editing, graphic design and maybe a little bit of 3D design. So I've been using it for the last 2 months, so this will be a practical review rather than just giving out all the specs and stuff. So I'll speak from my experience what it has been about living with this laptop. Starting with first impressions. This laptop, right after you unbox it, the main attraction is the display. It has a gorgeous 2.8K OLED display. It's so nice. Then it is thin and lightweight and it's very comfortable to carry around. So those are the two things that I noticed at the first time when I unboxed it, and those are the two things I like the most in this laptop. But if you want to get this laptop for the display alone, then there are much more cheaper options from ASUS itself. So this laptop is more powerful than the display. So the model I have here is the AMD variant. It's powered by the Ryzen 9 5900HX processor, which is AMD's flagship series from their Ryzen 5000 series mobile lineup. And it has 16 GB of non-upgradable memory. Just note that non-upgradable RAM. That is DDR4, 16 GB clocked at 3200 MHz. Then there is 4 GB of dedicated graphics, which is the RTX 3050 Ti, which is good for light gaming and all. The main purpose of this laptop is for creative users, like I mentioned, photo editing, video editing, and so on. Then there is 1 TB of upgradable memory. That is, it comes with 1 TB of NVMe SSD storage, which can be upgraded. But again, not that. If you upgrade, then you will have to reinstall Windows and so on, and there is no second storage option. Then coming back to the display, it is a 2.8K OLED display. It is Pantone validated. It is HDR supported. It has a VESA 600 HDR certification. It is 90 Hz. There are a lot of things to say about the display itself. It has a higher color reproduction capability. It has 100% DCI-P3 coverage, 96% Adobe RGB coverage, and 133% sRGB coverage. It's so great. It's so great to look at this. Even when you see the screensaver right now, the colors are so perfect, even through the camera. I'm recording in my phone, but even through the camera, you can see how good the colors are. I'm really in love with this display. That's one of the strong points of this laptop. Okay, now coming to the I/O ports. On the left, we have just two Type A USB 2.0 ports, which is pretty disappointing, because even though this is a 2021 model laptop, USB 2.0 shouldn't be around. It shouldn't be. So that's something I'm disappointed with. And on the right side, we have a barrel type charging port, one USB Type A 3.2 Gen 2 port, one USB Type C 3.2 Gen 2 port, and that doesn't support USB power delivery charging, and obviously no Thunderbolt because it's an AMD laptop. We have an HDMI 1.4 port, but fun fact, HDMI 1.4 port can only go up to 4K 30 FPS. But when I tried, I got 4K 60 FPS, which means it's HDMI 2.0 port. Now I don't know what's happening here, but anyway, you have HDMI 2.0. Then there's a micro SD card reader, which is strange because in most laptops I have seen that bigger memory card readers. Then there is a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is pretty powerful enough to drive a decent pair of headphones during your editing sessions or gaming sessions, whatever you do with this laptop. Yeah, and coming to the performance, video editing performance is really nice. It's really nice. You can edit 1080p videos very smoothly without proxies, and you can edit 4K videos smoothly with proxies. If you're not editing with proxies, then it will get choppy when you add more effects, titles, and so on. I'm a DaVinci Resolve editor, and I felt this laptop is sluggish in 4K editing, so I use proxies when I'm editing. And of course, if you're seeing this video, then I'll be editing that on this laptop itself. Yeah, and coming to the gaming performance, yeah, again, apps like Photoshop and so on will work so smoothly, no issues there. And now coming to the gaming performance, as I mentioned, it has an RTX 3050 Ti, which is pretty good for gaming. Not the high-end gaming, but it can play almost all games. And for the most demanding games, you might have to drop the settings a little. But do note that, as I mentioned, this is a 2.8K display and most games will run in that native resolution. So just go to settings and set it to 1080p and it will give you a better gaming experience. So that's also one thing to note here. Yeah, it can handle games. Also, there's one more thing. If you are gaming or if you are doing any kind of heavy task like video editing, this will heat up. It heat up so much you can't even this is a laptop, you can't place it on your lap. It heats up so much, and also it goes into thermal throttling. There are a lot of times I've seen this laptop hitting the 100-degree mark and it thermal throttles. Yeah, that's a big downside of this. But there is one thing you can do. If you are doing any kind of heavy task, then you can place a riser stand for this. I'll just show you. Yeah. You can get something like this from Amazon. This I think I paid somewhere around 300 rupees for this. Just place it like this, so it will give you more prolonged performance because there is more air circulation here. That's because the air vents are here. The air intake is from the bottom and it pushes through the front, so there needs to be some gap from the ground and the laptop for it to give optimal performance, or it will go into thermal throttling pretty soon. If you are interested in buying this, I'll leave a link in the description. It's very cheap, just a plastic one. There are also expensive ones. If you're interested in that, then I will leave a link for a good quality one also in the description. Again, coming back to the laptop, talking about its battery backup. It is okay to me, but it depends on how you use it. You can get up to 6 hours of battery backup with just casual web browsing and so on. But if you're doing anything heavy like gaming or video editing, maximum is around 2.5 hours to 3 hours. That's the maximum you can expect, because it's a Ryzen 9 5900HX processor. It's a 45 watt plus TDP. The max I believe the max clock speed is 4.6 GHz and the base is 3.3 GHz. So it's a very powerful. It's a hot CPU. It's a hot GPU. Okay, it's so hot. It was unnecessary here. That CPU can't even work properly because it heats up so much and goes into thermal throttling. If there was adequate cooling, yeah, like I mentioned, if you use a riser like that and there is enough air circulation in your room, then you can get high performance out of this laptop. But otherwise, it goes into thermal throttling pretty quick. Yeah, and I missed it. There is 2 LED indicators on this side, for the power and battery. Now coming to the build quality, even ASUS is not sure about the build quality, because the lid is definitely metal, but the base and the keyboard area, even they are not sure about. Because in one of ASUS own video, they're mentioning it as it's fully, this laptop, the Vivobook Pro 14X, is fully metal.
Let's talk about the construction. This device is made entirely out of aluminum,
but sometimes I feel like it's metal, sometimes it feels like plastic. Because in morning, if you are touching it, it feels so cold to the touch, it feels like metal. But sometimes it feels like plastic. So I'm not sure about it. But I have written an email to ASUS and they responded as plastic material. But even if it's plastic or metal, the laptop is very strong and sturdy. There is no keyboard flex. Very, very less. It's a negligible amount of keyboard flex. And about the keyboard, it's very nice. It's tactile, feels good to type on, yeah. And the trackpad is larger than your average laptop, but not as big as a MacBook. It's really nice, it's smooth. I'm not a trackpad kind of person. If I have a mouse, then I will use a mouse. But this is a kind of trackpad that will make you want to use it. So one more thing, there is an added feature in this trackpad. Okay, so if you just swipe in from the right top corner, then you will get a dial pad option. This is a virtual dial pad option. You can assign any shortcuts for this, like in the applications like Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, any custom applications, you can set a shortcut for this. But actually I bought this for having this feature. It's really nice to have, but I don't find myself using it. It feels more like a gimmick, but it works. It actually works pretty nice, but I don't find myself using it. Shortcuts is already assigned for the Adobe apps, but for DaVinci Resolve I had to manually set it. But it was nice. It's nice to have to show off at least, but I don't use it much. Yeah. About the sound, if you notice, there is a Harman Kardon branding for the sound. This comes in most ASUS laptops, but I don't find that big of a difference here. But the speakers are better than average, I would say. Another cool thing I like is about the webcam. The webcam is just average, just a 720p camera, but there is a physical privacy shutter, that too with a neon orange cover. So if it's closed, you can easily know it's closed. Also, there are keyboard shortcuts to enable disable camera and mic, but there is also a physical privacy shutter, which is really nice. And this is how the webcam of this laptop looks like. It's just a 720p camera, nothing fancy here. And the audio is also being recorded from the laptop's internal mic. And you might be hearing some background noise because I have an air cooler turned on. Also, there is something I want to show here because there is a companion app with this laptop, which is the My ASUS app, and inside that we have an option for noise cancellation for the inbuilt microphones. So let me just turn that on, and maybe hopefully you guys can see a difference here. So now that I've turned on the noise cancellation, you might be seeing a big difference in the that is background noise is cut off now. So I personally find that it makes a big difference, but I don't use the laptop's internal mic while doing any meetings or conferences. Now let's talk about the issues I'm facing with this laptop. The issues lies majorly with the software side and not the hardware. And before saying about the issue, what makes a good electronic device? I mean, like a smartphone or a laptop experience. Good hardware plus good software equals good experience. And this laptop checks the good hardware part. The good software part is not checked. Hence, bad experience. So what exactly is the issue I'm facing? And it's not just me, a lot other users are also facing this issue, and there is even a thread in ASUS own forum. There a lot of people are commenting about the same. And the issue lies when you're watching some videos on YouTube, or if you're downloading something offline and watching it on your laptop. Some areas of the video will have a different hue and some areas will have a higher brightness. Like I said, this is an HDR capable display, but even if you turn off the HDR settings within the windows, it will still happen. So what I think is software called ASUS Splendid might be clashing with the AMD Radeon graphics driver. So that is something I have a doubt with. Then this laptop heats up very quickly. Like even if you're doing some casual web browsing, it will get a little warm and the fans will kick in. So what you can do is you can toggle it to whisper profile within the ProArt app or in the My ASUS app. So what that will do is it will underclock the processor and won't let the fans to kick in. So that's what I mostly use when I'm not plugged in, or if I don't want the heavy power from this laptop. And in that mode you can get around 6 or maybe 6.5 hours of battery backup with some casual web browsing. Also, this is a software that comes pre-installed in this laptop. This is the ProArt Creator Hub. So this software is used to control your creative application. Actually, this software was meant for the ProArt Studio Book series laptops, but with the Vivobook Pro series, we are getting this app. And like I said, the function of this app is to monitor system resources, and we can adjust this dial pad settings, everything here, and some performance tweaks. So this app here has a graph. It's supposed to be working, but it's not. Also, here we should see the RAM and storage, here the CPU frequency and all those stuff. But in this page, only the RAM frequency, the fan speed and the temperature is being shown. Rest everything doesn't work. So this kind of software issues are there with this laptop. The software and driver are the only thing that's making this laptop unusable. So this was something I want to add to this video, so just to have you guys aware of that. Now if you ask me, Arjun, should I buy this laptop? If you are someone who mostly uses apps like Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, maybe DaVinci Resolve, and you are someone who lives within apps like that, then this laptop is okay for you. This laptop is thin and lightweight. I mean, like, with the charger, it weighs under 2 kgs. The laptop alone is under 1.5 kgs, which is pretty light and packs a punch when you need it. Although you will have to plug it to the wall to get the maximum potential of this laptop. So if you are that kind of guy, then you can definitely go with this laptop. But if you are someone who is mainly into content consumption, then there are cheaper OLED laptops from ASUS itself, and you will have that issue, but you can definitely get away with it by toggling it to full screen. I mean, toggling the content to full screen. And that's a wrap for this video. If you found this video helpful, then please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button because I will be adding more videos like this. And if you stay till the end, thank you so much for watching. See you in another video. Until then, bye bye.